Hello, I am Miranda Mikhailis, and today I will be talking to you about three main types of thieves. I will be leaving off the obvious, like people steal because they're greedy. I'm gonna leave out that, but I'm gonna talk to you about the three main types. And the reason why is because people are like, oh, how can you be so calm? You're taking it more easier than I have it. So I think it'll be a good time to talk about this and possible solutions. One is the type I fell under, where you're stealing soap, you're stealing toothbrush, you're stealing toothpaste because of poverty. You're so poor and you don't even want to steal. You don't want it, you don't really like it, you hate it, but it's kind of like you find yourself like stealing toothbrush, stealing toothpaste. You're just doing it because you're poor. Now, we could call the police and they could go to jail, but that's not going to change anything, because they're stealing because they have a hard time finding a job. And it's difficult, because you deal with this catch 22. Do you have any previous experience? No, but please be my experience. And this is McDonald's. This is McDonald's. This is, Papa John's. This is Pizza Hut being like, do you have any previous experience? It's like, you're a fast food restaurant. A fast food restaurant asking for previous experience, and you just go and you try, but you have all these fast food restaurants, with these now hiring signs being like, I don't know, we're looking for people with previous experience. So here you are, you're trying McDonald's, Pizza Hut, Papa John's with no prior experience. And you're like, well, I'm looking for work. Nobody wants to hire me. So you're stealing toothbrush, toothpaste, soap, deodorant. You're stealing these things, and you don't really want to steal, but it's like, man, and you're stealing other products too. You're stealing products to get rid of acne. You're stealing products to look nicer. To be more presentable for work, because if you're getting an interview, like if somebody interviews you, you don't want to be interviewed with acne all over your face. You don't want to be interviewed looking terrible. Anything could make or break an interview. So it's like, I might get an interview. So I need to steal something for acne, or I need to steal something to, to help my face look nicer. So you end up stealing Neutrogena, whatnot, to, make your face look nicer, so that if you get an interview, you could look nicer and more presentable for that interview. And yeah, it's really down to, you know I don't know why McDonald's, Burger King are asking questions like, do you have previous experience? It's just a fast food shop, and nobody's supposed to be working there permanently anyway. It's supposed to be a temporary job. I think as a stepping stone. So I don't even know why they're like, do you have previous experience? And they could be getting thieves off the streets. They could help people stop stealing. Yeah, they're like, mm-mm, when really people are supposed to use that to go to college and, get a better job. So why are these fast food restaurants acting like they're a dentist, or acting like they're doctors and surgeons? I don't know. But that's the possible solutions, because if they could have jobs, they won't be stealing. And of course, they need to be able to make a living off these jobs. Like I've had this prior job where it paid me, but it paid me so little. So I was still stealing here and there. Not a lot. I was buying some, stealing some. And the reason why I was stealing some is because They paid me, but they paid me really, really little. So I bought all the things that I can, and then I stole extra things that I need. But I still kept looking for a job that paid me much better so that I didn't have to do that anymore. But the solution to that is that, you know, I would say that these fast food restaurants, especially those ones that has big, huge signs saying now hiring. You don't need to be asking people for previous experience for McDonald's. You should just take people who need it. And sometimes they are more favored for teenagers than older people who are looking for work. It's sad. The other type is the addicts. They are addicted to drugs. The thing is, they do not need to go to jail. They need to go to rehab because rehab can really help them. Because if they go to jail, the addiction is still there. They really need to go to rehab. The third type is the type that happened to my aunts and my grandmother. This is the type that would watch your house all day. They would just stare at your house. They know where you keep your spare key. You could be like, no, 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 I hid my spare key really well. They know where you keep your spare key. They know it. They would find your key, get into your house. They'd take, they'd steal everything. They put it in a pawn shop. You know, they take everything again. These people could go to jail, but they don't care. Let me tell you this. Like I said in my previous video, my cousin has been to jail like 5 times. He's been in jail, got out of jail, been in jail again, got out of jail. He doesn't care, and it's weird because it's kind of like we've gone softer as a nation. We no longer done the whole, if you steal something, we'll just chop your arm off. So it's kind of like for those people who don't care and just steal your things and put it in a pawn shop. When it comes to those people, it seems like we just got to close down those pawn shops. That's the way that they could no longer make a living stealing. We just got to close down those pawn shops because right now, right now, I am living in a predominantly white neighborhood. Now, my next door neighbors, they're Mexican, and the ones a few doors down, they're black, but it's still a predominantly white neighborhood. I haven't seen any pawn shops. I haven't seen any pawn shops at all. But when you get to a black neighborhood or, the projects, you see pawn shops everywhere. That's because they be stealing other people's stuff, putting it in a pawn shop, and people be buying stolen supplies. We need to close down these pawn shops to incentivize these people to get real jobs. So that's what I think. Otherwise, the motivation isn't there. You could put them in jail, but these people, they do not want a real job. They do not want it. You could be like, well, here's the real job. They don't want it. They will do a bad job. They'll be rude. They'll be acting any old kind of way. They love doing what they're doing. Just sitting around, waiting to leave, finding your spare key, going into your house, taking all your stuff. That happened to my aunts. My aunts was forced to move. That happened to my grandmother. My grandmother was like, you know what, I would rather live in a nursing home. So my grandmother just went into a nursing home, because people, they would actually watch your house all day. Even if they did go to jail, they come back out, they do the same thing, because they don't care. They don't care. They don't want better for themselves. Because to them, watching a person's house today, it's easy. It's the easiest job you could ever have. It's easy. so they don't want better, you know, and it's kind of hard to know what to really do with a person who just doesn't care. Other than that, like there's kleptomaniacs, but I never met a kleptomaniac before. And the person who stolen my candle, I'm pretty sure they didn't know it was a candle because there's a library like across the street from me. So it's kind of like, why would you steal a candle, which probably has books you're probably not interested in, when there's a library across the street? To me, that person mistaking it for a tablet, which technically a Kindle is a tablet. They probably thought it was something else. You know, they probably thought it was an iPad, an iPhone or something, and I can make phone calls on it. So they kept take this iPhone and take her wallets. When really I kept my real phone on me the whole entire time, and I called as soon as I could. They took nothing. They didn't go to the gas station or anything, you know. So I called. They weren't even able to use my wallets, and they must have thought that they could if they were a kid, if they were a kid, they probably thought that they could get music off it. Like, yeah, I'm gonna get some great music off it, and I'm gonna do this and that. But if they're an adult, they probably put it in a pawn shop. But it's definitely a male. It's definitely a male because they didn't steal the whole purse. You know, if it was a woman would have taken the whole purse, and an older person would have probably like an older male would probably like, oh, it's my wife's purse, it's my girlfriend's purse, and I'm carrying it for her. So I think it's that teenage boy. I think it's that teenage boy that I see riding his bicycle around. And I think because I haven't seen him anymore. Like once my wallet got stolen, and once my candle got stolen, I haven't seen that teenage boy anymore. And of course, I'm gonna call and look. This is my phone. I have this really cheapo thing. I don't have like a really expensive phone. I got the cheapest phone I could get. Not only that, but another weird thing is you can get like one of those really nice phones for free. You can get it for free at Straight Talk, but the thing is upkeep, you know. You can even go to Verizon, and sometimes from Verizon, you could get one of those really nice phones for free. But the problem is upkeep. You know, it's like you can get those nice phones for free anyway, but it's gonna be a lot like I don't know. It's going to be like $45 a month or $100 a month. I don't know. You gotta do the upkeep, and if you can't deal with the upkeep, then why are you stealing it? You know, you're still, because it's for free anyway. You could go to the website itself, free, free. You know, you could even get an iPad or like an iPhone for free. Like if you wait during the holidays, you can still get it for free anyway, free. But it's kind of like, could you spend like $100 a month or whatever? I mean, if you're gonna steal a Kindle Fire, then most likely not. You know, most likely you can't deal with the upkeep. You know, so still, it's kind of like the person who stole it from me didn't think things through. You could get it for free anyway, but if you can't deal with the upkeep, you know, if you can't do the monthly payments. But for me, I got a Kindle. You pay for like one time, and then one time you get all the books through cloud. You know, I don't have to buy the books again. The books are in a cloud storage. That means the books are in my PC, and whenever I get to new Kindle, it automatically goes there. So I feel like I just been robbed by a person who didn't think things through, which is why I think he was that 13-year-old boy, because an adult would have gone to the gas station immediately. And there's a gas station like really close by. And because the gas station is close by, and the person didn't go to the gas station, must have been that 13, 14-year-old boy, you know, or didn't think things through that you could get an iPad for free anyway on the websites on special deals day or whatever, like the holidays. But it's the upkeep that's the problem. The upkeep, you gotta do those monthly payments. So even if it's free, like you can take my Kindle, though the library's behind me, but still you gotta still pay for the books. The books aren't free, you know. And if you could save up the money to buy the books, then you could just save for the Kindle, you know. Um, but I don't think they even knew it was a Kindle. I think they mistaken it for something else, you know. But that's my take on the three types of thieves and how to deal with it. And if a person is a kleptomaniac, again, they would need psychiatric help. In a sense, jail is no real place to adequately deal with thieves, you know. So, that's my take. Let me know what you think, in the comments below. Sorry for the stuttering, but I do want continuous shots, one take. And again, let me know what you think, and if you like me talking, whatever, please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, and when when I get a new Kindle or whatever, I would just go back to doing what I have been doing and trying to get bounce ideas off some of the books I've been reading. Like I was gonna read more of Ben Shapiro off my Kindle and bounce ideas from his books, but I haven't been able to do that. But hopefully I could just get to a new Kindle and, you know, mm, bye y'all.